What's up guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing the new R4T Universal mount. This here will work on a 24F battery for a Toyota. So if you have a 3rd gen Tacoma, 5th gen 4Runner, or what we have behind us is a 2nd gen Tundra, all of them have the 24F battery and all of them will work with this mount. And these holes on here, they are laid out for a Garmin PowerSwitch, a Switch Pros, an aux beam, whatever you have will have holes coordinated with that. What we are using today for the 2nd gen Tundra is going to be a Garmin PowerSwitch. We're also going to be using a bus bar as well. The bus bar is going to be a drop down that you can get on our website just to make everything easier. It will come with these self tapper screws. I would just toss those and use some of the screws that we'll provide. But if you do select the Garmin PowerSwitch and the bus bar, we will provide the hardware to mount it to the universal mount. So what we got on this truck is a Prinsu going on it, paired with this beautiful Baja Designs S8 40-inch light bar with the amber lens. This is one of my favorite light bars available for any truck really. And then we're also going to be installing the Squadrons. These are the Squadron Sports in the driving combo with the clear lens. These are going to be ditch lights, and both of those are going to be wired to the Garmin PowerSwitch. And we're planning this build out for a future hybrid bumper for this build as well, and that's why we're going to have this. This 2nd gen Tundra has a head unit that will allow CarPlay, Android Auto, so it's going to allow us to control all the accessories right on the head unit, which is why we went with this option here. So with that being said, let's get this installed. All right, so we are going to mount the PowerSwitch to the universal mount. So we have a couple variations that you can do here. You can run on the very top, the middle, or the bottom. The reason why we did that is because if you wanted to run 2 of these, you can have one down here and then one all the way up here. And then you would also need a bigger bus bar. But since we're going to do one, we're going to set it right in the middle. You're going to get these M6 button heads that you can drop in there. And then I guess we'll do that one later. Washer. Lock washer. And then the nut. And then this side over here. Washer, lock washer, and then the nut. And then you can fully tighten that down. All right, so on the back with the nut, there's going to be a 10 millimeter, and then on the button head side, it will be a 4 millimeter hex head. You can tighten that fully, and then do the other side. That's pretty much it for the Garmin. For the bus bar, you can either set it over here on this side or on this side. Now there are a couple sets of holes here. The closer ones are going to be for the single Garmin PowerSwitch. The ones that are farther apart is going to be for the double, where you'll set it up here and not here. And then this will be a larger bus bar for all your grounds. Now for these, it's going to be an M5 button head that you'll feed through. Flip it over. Same thing. And then repeat that on the bottom location there. Washer, lock washer, and nut. Then go ahead and fully fasten it. Repeat to the other one. And then there's a cover. You can set that on there once you're done. But they're just rubber covers there to protect the studs on top and protect all the grounds. Now moving on to the vehicle, we're going to need a deep socket, 10 millimeter. We're going to be removing the factory tie down here. You don't have to take it all the way, but far enough where we can swing it out of the hole that it's in to lift it up. Once you have both the J-hooks out of the hole, you can remove it. We are going to reuse the J-hooks. We're just going to get rid of the tie down itself. Now we are ready for the mount to go on the battery here. You'll set that just right on top there, like so. Now we can take the nuts off the J-hooks, toss them out. There's going to be 2 lengths. the shorter one is going to be towards the cab. The longer one is going to be in the front of the vehicle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hook it first down there, feed it into the mount right over here. Then we're going to start that nut, just like so. For the rear, same thing. We're going to hook it right into the hole. Then we're going to feed it through right there on the mount. Oop. If it slides through, that's okay. This might be easier. I'm going to start the nail nut first and then swing it into the hole. I'm pulling up on the mount so that way there's some tension on it that we can tighten that, pull it down, and then we're going to tighten up the other side here. And then we want to make sure that it's centered where we want it. And then we can fully tighten it. There we go. All right, so we got the Garmin PowerSwitch fully installed here. A couple of the accessories here. Some of these are existing from the customer already. So what we have here is the main power wire, which we added a sleeve to this one just to make it look a little bit nicer. That will come up to here. And then we got our tiny ground wire that goes from the power switch to our bus bar here. And then from the bus bar, another tiny little wire that goes to the actual ground on the battery terminal there. And then everything's wired. So this one will be the light bar here. Let me flip that on. Here's the light bar. And then we got ditch lights right over here. And all of these can be controlled right here under the hood on the head unit since it has CarPlay or on your phone. And then we also tied in the backlight here to ignition. So when you have the vehicle there, the backlight on the S8 light bar will be on. And this is a personal preference. You can obviously do it this way or have it on a switch as well, but it's a backlight just like the kind of like your daytime running light on your headlights. That's what that really does. So it just adds a little bit of a nice feature to it. But that's pretty much it for the installation of the Universal 27F battery mount with the Garmin Power Tray. Hopefully this video was helpful. This really is a nice mount just because it's super universal. You can put any kind of switch system on here and allow you to easily mount it. And really the only downside to it, if you ever needed to replace your battery, you just have to remove your panel, but that's like every 3 to 5 years or so. So it's not a big deal, but that's gonna be it. See you guys next time.